بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Alhamdulillah, we have tawfiq to continue our study of Kashf al-Murad. We reached the ninth issue or problem, المسألة التاسعة في الهدى والضلالة, about guidance and misguidance. One of the controversial issues between people like Ash'arites on the one hand and Adliya, Shiites, Mu'tazilites on the other hand is the issue of Allah's role in guidance and misguidance. As you can really see, the issue of human role in the actions and Allah's extent of involvement in our actions is very far-reaching. So we talked about qada and qadar. Now we want to talk about guidance and misguidance. Especially there are verses in the Quran that Ash'arites think that they can support them because they attribute hidayah and idlal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yahdi man yasha wa yudhillu man yasha. They say, look, Allah creates guidance in us, Allah creates misguidance in us. So He is responsible for everything. Now we want to see what is the position of Adliya, the people of justice, the Shiites, for example, the Mu'tazilites, for example, about this. Of course, we speak on behalf of the Shiites, but there are lots of similarities in this case between Shia and the Mu'tazilites. قال والإضلال إشارة إلى خلاف الحق وفعل الضلالة والإهلاك. Khaja rahmatullah alayhi says that idlal refers to one of three things. There are three ways you can use idlal. There are three meanings for idlal. Idlal, as you know, in Arabic is different from dhalal. Dhalal means to be misguided. Idlal means to misguide someone. So it's muta'addi. Idlal is muta'addi. Adalla means to misguide. Dhalla means to go astray. So al-idlal has three ways of being used. One, خلاف الحق, الإشارة إلى خلاف الحق. When you hint to something which is not true, when you want to put people in confusion, instead of pointing at the truth, you point at something which is opposite to the truth. This is called idlal, to misinform people. This is one meaning. Number two, وفعل الضلالة, to do means to create misguidance. So misguidance be put in someone means to misguide someone. Number three, والإهلاك, to destroy. So there are three ways that idlal can be used. والهدى مقابل له. Huda means to guide, and it's opposite to إضلال. Therefore, Huda can also be used in three senses. Opposite to إشارة إلى خلاف الحق, which means إشارة إلى الحق, to point at the truth. So one meaning of Hidayah, of course, Huda means to cause Hidayah. One meaning of Huda and Hidayah in a transient way is to point at the truth. Number two, فعل الهداية, instead of فعل الضلالة, فعل الهداية, to create guidance in someone. And number three, opposite to الإهلاك, means instead of destruction, to give reward and to improve the condition of the people, especially إثابة, give sawab, reward. So we have three meanings for إضلال and three meanings for هداية or Huda. والهدى مقابل له. Khaja says Huda is opposite to إضلال, so it means it has three meanings. Now, among these three meanings, Khaja says the first two cannot be applicable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. والأولان منفيان عن الله تعالى. The first two are negated from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't accept that Allah would cause misguidance or would misinform. The first meaning is to misinform. No, Allah would not do that. To create misguidance, فعل الضلالة, Allah would not do that. Yes, ihlak is possible. And maybe some people need to be destroyed. We will talk about this. But what Ash'arites and people like Ash'arites need in order to save their position is to say that the first or second meaning can be applied to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala based on the Quran. But we don't accept that. Allah is never causing misguidance or confusion in us, making us misguided and then questioning us why you are misguided. So, this is what Khaja Rahmatullah Alayhi said. Allah Mehilli Rahmatullah Alayhi again has a commentary here. أقول, Allah says, I say, يطلق الإضلال على الإشارة إلى خلاف الحق والتباس الحق بالباطل, or in my version وإلباس الحق بالباطل. Maybe this is more accurate. Idlal can be applied to referring to what is against the truth, what is false, خلاف الحق. وإلباس الحق بالباطل, not التباس, because التباس الحق بالباطل means the truth is covered with falsehood. But إلباس means to cover the truth with falsehood. It's more suitable with إشارة because it's a kind of action. So, to confuse, basically, to cover the truth with falsehood. This is one meaning of إضلال, the first meaning. كما تقول أضلني فلان عن الطريق, so and so misinformed me and misguided me with respect to the path. What does it mean? It means that I wanted to go to, for example, this city. For example, I wanted to go to Mashhad. He showed a direction which took me another city. إذ أشار إلى غيره. instead of showing me the path to Mashhad, he indicated something else, غيره. وأوهم أنه هو الطريق. But he made this illusion in me that this is the path. This is the direction that you should take. He caused some illusion in me that, and some confusion in me that this is the path. This is the first meaning. Second meaning of idlal is that ويطلق على فعل الضلالة في الإنسان. It is also applied to creating misguidance in human beings. In the same way that jahl can be put in people, sometimes misguidance can be put in people. Or at least we can think of this. Of course, really, if you want to be very precise, no one can misguide any person unless they want themselves to be misguided. They cooperate, they surrender at least. But we are talking about a grammatical point of view. So, فعل الضلالة في الإنسان كفعل الجهل فيه. In the same way that someone can cause ignorance, someone can cause misguidance in someone, حتى يكون معتقدا خلاف الحق. So that this insan, this human being, would believe in something other than haq. Because the condition of dhalala is what? Means you believe in something which is not true. Third meaning is وَيُطْلَقُ عَلَى الْإِهْلَاكِ وَالْبُطْلَانِ. It can also be applied to destroying and butlan, to expire, to finish, to become again, nothing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in a, of course, negative sentence, in negational sentence, salibih, says that those who believe and do righteous deeds, فَلَنْ يُضِلَّ أَعْمَالَهُم. Allah is not going to do idlal of their actions. What does it mean their actions are not going to be idlal? Means Allah is not going to finish, to destroy their actions. Means not to let them reach their target, their aims. يعني لن يبطلها. Allah is not going to refute it, to finish it, to terminate it. So, three meanings for إضلال. الإشارة إلى خلاف الحق وإلباس الحق بالباطل. Number two, فعل الضلالة في الإنسان, which means إيجاد الضلالة في الإنسان. Number three, الإهلاك. Now let's go to the opposite of إضلال, which is هدى والهدى, guidance. والهدى يقال لمعان ثلاثة مقابلة لهذه المعاني. Huda is also used in three senses, opposite to these three senses. كما قال تعالى فلن يضل. Sorry, I went one line up. يقال لمعاني ثلاثة مقابلة لهذه المعاني فيقال. So now let's see what are those three things. نسب الدلالة على الحق, opposite to الإشارة إلى خلاف الحق, is نسب الدلالة على الحق. You point something, some signs for حق. Dalala, you remember in logic, we had ad-dalala. We said there is dalalatul lafdiyya, dalala ghayr lafdiyya, sign, indicator. So, hidayah means to put some indicators and signs that show haq, opposite to الإشارة إلى غير الحق. This is one meaning. For example, هداني إلى الطريق. Instead of أضلني عن الطريق, هداني إلى الطريق. I wanted to go Mashhad. I said, where is Mashhad? He gave me right direction and put me in the right road, and I can reach my destination. Number 2, وبمعنى فعل الهدى في الإنسان. To create guidance in people. حتى يعتقد الشيء على ما هو به. So when condition of guidance is created, of course, we will say that this is not possible. We are talking grammatically. But actually we said no one can create guidance in people. Unless if you mean to prepare, to help, to support, to assist, that's possible. For example, Rasulullah in a famous hadith said to Amir al-Mu'mineen something like this: لَإِنْ يَهْدِيَ اللَّهُ بِكَ رَجُلًا خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِمَّا طَلَعَتْ عَلَيْهِ الشَّمْسِ. If Allah guides with you one person, is better for you than whatever sun has been shining on. Okay, guide with you, it doesn't mean that this person is guided literally by Amirul Mu'mineen or by Allah, in the sense that Allah put guidance in him and he was just a container and subject. No. Means there was preparation, there was help, there was assistance, the path was given, but he accepted. So if you want to be talking very carefully and accurately, no one can create guidance in anyone. إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ. Even Rasulullah cannot guide people in this sense. Yes, he can show them the path. He can take them to the path. But if they want. So, وبمعنى فعل الهدى في الإنسان حتى يعتقد الشيء على ما هو به. Also to create guidance in people in the sense that he would believe in the things as they are. وبمعنى الإثابة. The third meaning is إثابة. For إضلال we said إهلاك, to destroy, but here we say إثابة, to give reward. For example, Allah says سيهديهم. سيهديهم means Allah is going to reward them. يعني سيثيبهم. Okay, now that you are familiar with these three meanings for إضلال and opposite three meanings for هداية, والأولان منفيان عنه تعالى. The first two, as Khaja rahmatullah alayhi said, are to be negated with respect to Allah. Allah would not do إراءة خلاف الحق, الإشارة إلى خلاف الحق, إلباس الحق بالباطل. Allah would not do that. Also, فعل الضلالة في الإنسان. Allah would not do that. والأولان منفيان عنه تعالى, يعني الإشارة إلى خلاف الحق وفعل الضلالة. These two meanings are to be negated. Why? Because these are immoral. And we said that Allah would not do something لا يفعل القبيح ولا يخل بالواجب. Remember we had this discussion, لا يفعل القبيح ولا يخل بالواجب. Allah would not do something which is morally wrong and would not fail to do something which is necessary. So how can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, instead of showing the right direction, would misguide people? لأنهما قبيحان, because these two, الإشارة إلى خلاف الحق and also فعل الضلالة, both of them are قبيح, immoral, ugly. والله تعالى منزه عن فعل القبيح. Allah is to be glorified with respect to doing something which is bad. فعل القبيح is different from al-fi'l al-qabih. فعل al-qabih means doing of al-qabih, not al-fi'l which is al-qabih. So we are not talking about immoral action, we are talking about doing what is immoral. This is about idlal. So the first two meanings of idlal cannot be applied to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Amma al-hidayah. What about hidayah? Yes, فالله تعالى نصب الدلالة على الحق. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put guidance to on indicators for haq. Yes. وفعل الهداية. What about فعل الهداية? إيجاد of guidance. This is, as I said, something that you have to be careful. If you want to speak very accurately, even فعل الهداية is a problem. Not only فعل الضلال is a problem, فعل الهداية is a problem. Because we have to believe. We have to decide to be guided. But in the sense of doing the prerequisite and preparations, yes. وفعل الهداية الضرورية في العقلاء ولم يفعل الإيمان فيهم. Allah has done necessary guidance for people who are rational, but has not done iman in them, means has not created iman in them. So he has done what is necessary. What is daruri? Means the prerequisites. To show them, to give them understanding, to, I don't know, give them love for good things. حَبَّبَ إِلَيْكُمُ الْإِيمَانِ وَزَيَّنَهُ فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ. Yes, he has done this. But to make us mu'min and create iman in us, no. Then we would have no role. وَلَمْ يَفْعَلِ الْإِيمَانَ فِيهِمْ. He has not created iman in them. لأنه كلفهم به, because Allah has made this taklif, this obligation. آمنوا, you should believe. So how can he say, this is your obligation, this is what we expect from you, and then he himself creates in some people iman and in other people creates kufr? It doesn't make sense. لأنه كلفهم به وَيُثِيبُ عَلَى الْإِيمَانِ. He rewards for iman. الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَهُمْ أَجْرُهُمْ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ. Or لَهُمْ نُورُهُمْ وَأَجْرُهُمْ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ. Or لَهُمْ أَجْرُهُمْ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ نُورُهُمْ. Something in this, similar to this line. Iman has ajr, has reward. So it means that there must be some role that this person receives a credit. فَمَعَانِ الْهِدَايَةِ صَادِقَةٌ فِي حَقِّ تَعَالَى. So three meanings of hidayah can be used for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِرَاءَةُ الْحَقِّ, showing haq, الدلالة على الحق, yes. إِثَابَة, which was the third meaning, yes. But for the second, we have a reservation. What do you mean by fi'lul hidayah? If you mean doing the basic things and preparation and preparing the ground, yes. If you mean creating iman in them, no. فَمَعَانِ الْهِدَايَةِ صَادِقَةٌ فِي حَقِّهِ تَعَالَى إِلَّا, except which meaning? The second, if you mean فِعْلَ مَا كَلَّفَ بِهِ, to do what he has obligated. He has made it obligatory to do. He cannot make something obligatory, then he himself does it in some people and doesn't do it in other people. So, when we say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yahdi wa yudhil, or sometimes we say tahdi man tasha wa tudhillu man tasha, for example, it can be in the third, like absent person, fi'l ghaib. It can be mukhatab. Sometimes say yuzillu yahdi, sometimes say tudhillu wa tahdi. in both cases, إضلال can only mean the third. إذا قيل إنه تعالى يهدي ويضل فالمراد به أنه يهدي المؤمنين بمعنى أنه يثيبهم. It can mean that he rewards mu'mineen. So the third meaning of guidance, or even the second, but in the sense that preparations. وَيُذِلُّ الْعُصَاةِ. Usat is plural for asi, disobedient, sinful. He misguides usat. What does it mean? يُحْلِكُهُمْ وَيُعَاقِبُهُمْ means he would destroy them and punish them. What about the saying of Musa alayhi salam? Musa alayhi salam in Surah A'raf, which is chapter 7, verse 155, said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إِنْ هِيَ إِلَّا فِتْنَتُكَ تُضِلُّ بِهَا مَنْ تَشَاءُ وَتَهْدِي مَنْ تَشَاءُ. The ayah is about the story that happened in the life of Prophet Musa alayhi salam when he took 70 of very good people from Bani Israel with him for appointment with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَاخْتَارَ مُوسَى قَوْمَهُ 70 رَجُلًا لِمِيقَاتِنَا. He took by selection 70 men of Bani Israel to miqat, for the appointment with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَلَمَّا أَخَذَتْهُمُ الرَّجْفَةُ. When there was a kind of earthquake or some shaking took place, and Musa alayhi salam was worried that they are going to die, and then people would say, oh, Musa has killed them. قَالَ رَبِّ لَوْ شِئْتَ أَهْلَكْتَهُمْ مِنْ قَبْلِ وَإِيَّايَ. Oh Allah, if you wanted, you could have destroyed them and me before. أَتُهْلِكُنَا بِمَا فَعَلَ السُّفَهَاءُ مِنَّا. Are you going to destroy us because of what people who were ignorant and irrational among us have done? إِنْ هِيَ إِلَّا فِتْنَتُكَ تُضِلُّ بِهَا مَنْ تَشَاءُ وَتَهْدِي مَنْ تَشَاءُ. This is not except your fitna, which means a difficult test. Not that in the sense that Allah wanted to misguide them. تُضِلُّ بِهَا مَنْ تَشَاءُ وَتَهْدِي. This is a test. You guide with this some people that you will, and you misguide with this some people that you will. أَنْتَ وَلِيُّنَا. You are our master. فَاغْفِرْ لَنَا وَارْحَمْنَا وَأَنْتَ خَيْرُ الْغَافِرِينَ. Please forgive us and have mercy on us. You are the best of the forgivers. So what does Musa mean here? إِنْ هِيَ إِلَّا فِتْنَتُكَ تُضِلُّ بِهَا مَنْ تَشَاءُ وَتَهْدِي مَنْ. Does he mean that Allah did this in order to misguide people? No. It means that this was a big test. But only people who go after falsehood will be misguided. It's a test, but not a force for being misguided. وَقَوْلُ مُوسَى عليه السلام على نبينا وعليه وعليه السلام إن هي إلا فتنتك. إن هي إلا فتنة. This is not except your fitna. فالمراد, as I said, it is Surah A'raf, verse 155. فالمراد بالفتنة الشدة والتكليف الصعب. Fitna here means difficulty and difficult test, trial. Taklif means obligation, but means here a kind of test. يُضِلُّ بِهَا مَنْ يَشَاءُ, according to the version that I have. If it is continuity of the ayah is تُضِلُّ بِهَا مَنْ تَشَاءُ, but in my book is written يُضِلُّ بِهَا مَنْ يَشَاءُ. In any case, it means يُهْلِكُ. إِضْلَال here means the third meaning. The third meaning can be used for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Means he would destroy those that he will who are kafir. Of course, kafir means kufr al-juhud, those who deliberately and arrogantly fight the truth. So the result of this discussion is this, that you cannot, we say to our Ash'arite brothers, you cannot attribute idlal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the sense of misinforming people, covering and hiding the truth, which is the first meaning, or in the sense of creating misguidance in them, which is the second meaning. Yes, you can say Allah does idlal in the sense of ihlak. This is what we can say to our Ash'ari brothers and sisters. The next issue, المسألة العاشرة في أنه تعالى لا يعذب الأطفال. The 10th issue is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not punish children. This is also a very important discussion, that we believe no child would be punished. You know, in some important religions I don't want to mention, they don't have this clear understanding about children, because they say we suffer from original sin, and you know there must be something for them to rescue them from that, to bring them out of that. And yeah, so I don't want to go into details, but we believe that any child is innocent and any child is immune from questioning or punishment in the hereafter. Can be child of believer or someone who doesn't believe. But in this world, from a legal perspective, fiqh perspective, maybe sometimes we treat children according to the way their parents are. For example, children of Muslims are considered as Muslims. Children of mushrik, polytheists, are treated in some cases like their parents, in some cases. But when it comes to moral responsibility or, about their salvation in the hereafter, the situation is different. So, al-mas'alatul ashira, the 9th topic or issue is في أنه تعالى لا يعذب الأطفال. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not punish children. Khaji rahmatullah alayhi said, وتعذيب غير المكلف قبيح. To punish someone who has not yet become mukallaf is qabih, is ugly, is bad action, is immoral. Taklif has several conditions. One condition of taklif is to reach the age of puberty. Bulugh. Even someone who is baligh, should be also rationally okay. But at least one condition is that must have reached the age of puberty. So how can a child then be held responsible and be questioned for what actually it's not the child, it's the parents, for example, doing or believing? So تعذيب غير المكلف قبيح, to punish someone who is not yet mukallaf, yet has not received divine call for obedience. Punishing such person is qabih, is not right. وكلام نوح عليه السلام مجاز. In the story of Prophet Nuh, we have that he finally, or at some stage, he said, "Oh Allah, if you let these people continue, they would not bring to this world, they would not, have any children unless they are fajir and kafar. they are criminals, they are sinful, they are ungrateful. So Ash'arites and people like them want to say, look, Nuh alayhi salam is saying that their children are also fajr and kafar. رَبَّنَّكَ إِن تَذَرْهُمْ لَمْ يَلِدُوا إِلَّا فَاجِرًا أَوْ كَفَّارًا. So their children are also fajr. And if they're fajr, they can be questioning. But we say no. This is what we have learned in al-Balagha, in Arabic rhetorics, that sometimes we have a kind of Mujaz, a kind of metaphoric usage, that we use something with the name of what it is going to become in future. Right now it has not become that, but we can call it right now that in a metaphoric sense. For example, in the story of Yusuf ala nabiyina wa alayhi salam, one of the people in prison said, I had a dream, anni arani a'asiru khamra. I had a dream that I am squeezing wine. Do you squeeze wine? We don't squeeze wine. It means squeezing grapes. But because grapes were going to become wine, then he said, Asr khamra. So this is in Arabic language and many other languages correct. Of course, when I say we or you, I'm not saying what we are doing this or we are not doing. I mean, in general, sometimes we say we or you. It doesn't mean personally. You shouldn't take it personally. So, Asiru khamran, this is what they call Majaz bi'atibar ma ya'ul. Ya'ul with Hamza means ma yarja, ma yasir. So, because in future it's going to become khamr, this grape is called, or juice of the grape is called khamr. So Nuh alayhi salam said, Lam yalidu illa fajiran, not that child is fajr, and when it is born as fajr. Means if you let them, their progeny also become like them, except maybe few, because the way they upbring, the way they raise their children, is that most of them or almost all of them become like their parents in a society which is all corrupt and all suffer from shirk. So kalamu Nuhin alayhi salam majazun. The saying of Nuh alayhi salam is metaphoric. والخدمة ليست عقوبة له. And if a child is serving, is asked to do some work, it's not to be taken as punishment. It's not that because he was a bad person, he was a criminal, he is asked to do this. It's not a matter of uqubah. It can be a matter of training, a matter of disciplining. It's something that has nothing to do with moral side of the person. وَالتَّبَعِيَّةُ فِي بَعْضِ الْأَحْكَامِ الجَّائِزَةِ. And it is also possible that child follows his parents in some rulings. It's possible in some rulings. For example, maybe about marriage, about some issues about tahara, we can say child of a Muslim is like a Muslim, child of a, for example, polytheist is like a polytheist, child of a pagan is like a pagan in certain issues, but never we say child of a pagan or a polytheist is morally, spiritually the same as his father or mother. No, child is innocent. So التبعية في بعض الأحكام means تبعية الطفل لوالده or والديه في بعض الأحكام in some ruling is جائز, is permissible, means it's possible. جواز in kalam means possible. So this is only that much that Khaja said. أقول علامة رحمة الله عليه says ذهب بعض الحشوية إلى أن الله تعالى يعذب أطفال المشركين. Some of the early متكلمين حشوية, they had the idea that Allah may punish children of mushrikeen. May punish children of mushrikeen. وَيَلْزَمُ الْأَشَاعِرَةَ تَجْوِيزُهُ. And although Ash'ari may not have said the same thing, but it is lazim for them to permit this. Means it's a requirement and an implication of their positions that they should think like Hashwiyah, that it's possible. Because how can Allah, in people who are adults but have no role, do sins and then punish them? Okay, if we had no role when we are adult, so the same is with children, doesn't make that much difference. وَالْعَدْلِيَّةُ كَافَّةٌ means كَافَّةً عَلَى مَنْ. Adliyah, people of justice, Shiites and Mu'tazilites. Adliyah means Shiites and Mu'tazilites. Kafa, all of them are against it. They say no, Allah would not punish children, even children of bad people. وَالدَّلِيلُ عَلَيْهِ, and the reason for this is أَنَّهُ قَبِيحٌ عَقْلًا. To punish children is rationally immoral, unacceptable rationally, and we believe in husn qubh aqli and zati. We believe that there is intrinsic goodness and badness, and therefore rational goodness and badness. فَلَا يَصْدُرُ مِنْهُ تَعَالَى. When something is qabih, would not then occur and happen from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, those people who believe in possibility, they have brought some arguments. احتجوا بوجوه. They have argued with few arguments. Number one, الأول قول نوح عليه السلام. دليل نقلي, they have referred to this ayah about what Nuh عليه السلام said. وَلَا يَلِدُ إِلَّا فَاجِرًا كَفَّارًا. They would not bring to this world any child except fajr and kafar, someone who does fujur. Fujur means sins or injustice, zulm, and kafar, someone who is very much ungrateful or very much disbelieving. Wal-jawab, we say, no, he didn't mean that their awlad as soon as they are born are fajr. أنه مجاز, this is metaphoric. وَالتَّقْدِير, what is meant here, that is assumed here is this. أنهم يصيرون كذلك. They become fajr and kafar. لا حالة طفولتهم, not when they are child, when they are children. Not that as a child they are fajr. Later they become like asar or khamra. Number two, about khidmah, asking them for serving, asking them to work for us. قالوا إنا نستخدمه لأجل كفر أبيه فقد فعلنا فيه ألما وعقوبة فلا يكون قبيحا. They said it's possible that if there is a pagan who has been fighting Muslims, is kafir harbi, for example, and then they come to kill Muslims and then they are arrested. For example, the child is arrested, the father is arrested, or one of them. Okay, so here, instead of killing them, they ask them, for example, to be either in prison like today, but in the past there was no prison. Maybe they do some services, they offer some services. So this asking or offering some kind of options of serving instead of being in prison, etc. I don't want to go into fiqh discussion. There are lots of issues here and may not be agreed by everyone. There are lots of conditions, so I don't want to go into that. But anyway, if this happens, they said this is لأجل كفر أبيه, because his father was kafir. So we think it is right that we ask this child to serve, and فعلنا فيه ألما وعقوبة, and we have produced in him or caused in him pain, and it's a kind of punishment. So there is no problem. Sharia allows us to do something that would restrict that person's freedom and that person's ability to enjoy and have pleasure. But what we say, this was what Ash'arite say. What we say is certainly no punishment for children. Any punishment, no. But some legal issues that apply to parents, some of them, not all of them, may apply to the children, but not in the form of punishment, as a kind of discipline, as a kind of last resort. So, الجواب أن الخدمة ليست عقوبة للطفل. If we supposedly say that the child has to serve, has to do some work, or if, for example, if it becomes like a slave, then this is not to be taken as a punishment, as a uquba. Punishment is for sinners, child not the sinner. Punishment is for vicious, child not vicious. وَلَيْسَ كُلُّ أَلَمٍ وَمَشَقَّةٍ عُقُوبَةٍ. It's not that every pain and difficulty is punishment. Punishment is for bad people. This training, this is a kind of discipline. This can be a kind of hardship. فَإِنَّ الْفَسْدَ وَالْحِجَامَةَ أَلَمًا. For example, sometimes we have something which is difficult and even has pain, like what? Fast. Fast was to cut blood vessels and remove some dirty blood, or hijama, that on the back with different techniques. Sometimes what they do, they again let the dirty blood, for example, come out in certain seasons. Okay, it's painful, but actually it's good for health, and many people voluntarily go and do this. Many people pay for it, of course. So it's not that every pain and difficulty is punishment. فَإِنَّ الْفَسْدَ وَالْحِجَامَةَ أَلَمَانِ وَلَيْسَ عُقُوبَةً. They are pains, but they're not punishment. نعم استخدامه عقوبة لأبي. Yes, it can be a punishment for the father to see his child has to work. But it's not a punishment for the child, and it's not meant to be punishment for the child. وَإِمْتِحَانٌ لَهُ. But for the child is a test يعذب عليه, and the child will receive عوض. Inshallah, in future we have a discussion about a'wad, that whatever you suffer in dunya, you will receive عوض and return for it. كما يعوض على أمراضه, if someone becomes ill, Allah gives them return. Allah gives them reward in return of the illness. This child, because of father, is suffering, but it's not a punishment for him. It's not that Allah doesn't like him and wants to punish him. No. And it's not that this difficulty that he's going through would be wasted. This difficulty would be considered for him as a great ibadah, like sabr al-musibah. And then about child following some of the rulings of the parent or father, we said this is a legal issue, and sometimes for legal issues we have to fix. We say, for example, children according to the parents are considered Muslim or pagan, whatever. But this is just a legal side, and because we have to make a decision. الثالث قالوا إن حكم الطفل يتبع حكم أبيه في الدفن ومنع التوارث والصلاة عليه ومنع التزويج. They said, look, child, although is a child, is taken responsible, they say, and therefore follows the ruling of his father about burial of child of a kafir, doesn't need, salatul mayyit and, ghuslul mayyit, being put in the graveyard of Muslim with certain, manners and conditions. No, doesn't need that. Or, for example, a child who is kafir or mushrik would not inherit from a believer. Wassalat alayh, to say salat over his body, he would not receive this salat like father. وَمَنْعَ التَّزْوِيج, is not possible to marry him or her. Okay, this is what they have said. They want to argue from similarity in some rulings that the child is also like father. We say no. والجواب أن المنكر عقابه لأجل جرم أبيه. What is deniable is to punish him for the sake of crime of his father. وليس بمنكر أن يتبع حكم أبيه في بعض الأشياء. What is munkar, deniable, bad, we cannot accept, is to punish him because of his father. But it's not munkar to say that some of the rulings of father would apply to him. But the condition is that if these rulings apply to the child, it should not cause him punishment and, pain. Can cause some difficulty as discipline, but not pain of punishment. إذا لم يحصل بها ألم وعقوبة ولا ألم له في منعه من الدفن والتوارث وترك الصلاة عليه. If we say he cannot be and doesn't need to be buried like Muslims, the child of kafir doesn't mind. Actually might, prefer because of what the family, etc., they believe. Or about, the issue of inheritance from a believer, for example, or about not saying prayer on his body. The child wouldn't mind about these issues. It would not be considered this as iqab, as a punishment which criminals receive. So, the summary of Mas'alة al-Ashirah, the 10th issue, is that because we believe in divine justice and we believe in intrinsic goodness and badness, we believe that Allah would not do anything immoral. So we say Allah would never punish a child for the way their parents lived or decided to live, for their kufr. Allah would not punish a child. And if there are certain rulings that legally may join the child to the parents, they can never be painful or, kind of punishment or any way to say that child is responsible. No, it's not responsible. So alhamdulillah, we finished these two mas'ala. If you have any question, you may put forward. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.